Have you heard the one about the compressor belt?
It's a cracker.
Hello YouTubes, welcome back to another fun-filled, exciting episode of vintage compressor rebuilding. That sounds really dull. Today's plan then, I want to clean off all the goop and oil and yuck off of the compressor, off the motor, and reposition them on their new home on top of the compressor. Now, as you saw in the intro, I do have some cracking going on in these belts. Would not like that to snap off at high speed, so I bought two new ones. Now, thankfully, there was still markings on these belts. I know that one's upside down, but it's actually B66, which measures 79 inches. I didn't measure it with a string, a piece of string, and it was about 78 with the bit of string, but it wasn't a very technical measurement. So let's get one of these out the wrappers and offer it up and make sure it's the right size before we go any further. Got these on Amazon. They are D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know what D&D stands for, but hopefully they fit. D&D Power Drive. Here we go. Sure, that's a reputable company. Just roughly, I'm going to put it over the top so it won't fit in the small one, but I'll get an idea. Looks to me like that is going to be hopefully spot on. Now, these aren't just regular V-belts, they're a bit wider than like you would put on a fan belt, alternator belt on a car. So I wouldn't be tempted to try and cheap out, get the proper one for your machine. So I've got two of them. I'll take the other one out and just cross-check it against this one, make sure they're both the same, because I do need two for this machine. Okay, onwards. Right, I've checked them. They are both the same model, same length, no cracks, so we can proceed. Next thing I want to do then is get the motor off this base plate, get the compressor off. And the way that you tighten these belts is with an adjusting mount down there. So I've already pre-scooshed all these nuts and bolts, so they should come off no problem at all, especially since they're covered in oil. There shouldn't be any resistance. I think this probably, the bolt goes in from the bottom, not in the top, so I'll need two wrenches. Right, let me whip all that off. I have no idea how I'm going to lift that onto the new one. Oh, excuse me. Now, I'm not just going to blindly drill holes and hope that they're in the right place. I'm going to take, well, whatever's left here, take that out, take that bracket off, and then I'll make a template. But first, I'm going to clean everything up. And I'm going to try cleaning it with the contents of this box. Yeah, big corporate sellout, but hey, free stuff is free stuff. Super Clean sent me this to give it a shot. And my apologies, they sent me this last year and I forgot it was in the box because I'm getting old and I forget. Anyway, we're going to give this a bit of a trial, see if it works. We're getting good reviews on this stuff so far, so fingers crossed. Right, I'm going to scoosh this everywhere and then get a wee brush to agitate it. Scoosh round this side. The good thing is this stuff is actually quite inexpensive, so I don't mind using a fair bit of it. Right, I will let that sit for a wee bit and then I'll agitate it and add some more. Two coats on with agitation in between. Now it does say do not allow this stuff to dry, so I'm going to hose it down. Make sure I don't get any water in the intake or the outlet, the out bit. You do not want hydrolocking going on in this thing, that would be a disaster. Let's see how it works. And I just soaked myself. That's okay. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. That worked way better than I thought it would. Now, I didn't spend a huge amount of time scrubbing, but it's come up really good, considering it's even got the in between the cooling fins for that air pipe. I'll maybe go over it again and scoosh some more in there and give it a bit more scrub and down there. To be honest, I wasn't really expecting it to do much, but that's come up really nice. I might not even repaint this unit. Excellent. Thank you very much, Super Clean. I went ahead and super cleaned the brackets and the base plate, and I gave the compressor another once over so it can now dry, ready for paint tomorrow. So I need to make a paper template to match the bolt holes in the base plate to the new base plate on top of the air tank. Right, I've got 8 holes to line up. So instead of trying to mark them all at once, I'm going to make one hole in the paper, put a bolt through it, and then I'm only going to have that amount of shuggling about to get them right. So let me do that, and I'll see you when it's all done. Right, template's done. Now I can transfer those markings over to the top of the gas tank, air tank, and drill some holes. Now we do have one slight issue, no biggie, but this base plate is 2 inches shorter than the base plate that the compressor and motor came off of. Now I'm going to install the compressor where it has to go because it's really heavy and I want it to be able to take the full weight of this plate, or I want the plate to take the full weight of the compressor. The other side, as you can see, these bolt holes for those brackets are over the edge, but that's okay because these brackets have got multiple holes. So instead of using that hole there, I'll be using that hole there. So that will sit there, and a hole there, the same with this one, the hole will be there. So I will mark all these holes where they're supposed to be as straight as possible. And then I need to get this kind of on its side so I can drill, because there's no way I can drill from the top. Right, let me take care of that. Right, that's the hard part done. Next part is the fun part. Sanding it down, giving it some paint, putting it all together, switching it on, and hoping it doesn't explode. No, it should be fine, right? Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to get stuck into this, and as I say, the next video should be quite interesting. Paint-wise, I'm going to go basic for now. I do have a plan for the paint in the future, but I want to get this thing up and running. Right, that's me. Big thanks to Super Clean for sending me that little bottle of Scoosh. Works really well. Highly recommend it. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye bye.